Okay, this is our Miller 250G Trailblazer. The hour meter's got 1,700 hours on it, but it quit working at about 2,000 hours ago. Yes, I'm standing in the rain shooting this video. It's old, and it's got an additional exhaust on it to quiet it down. My dad made this. He made the carriage, and he made it to where you wrap your cords and wrap your leads around here so that when you jerk on them it doesn't pull them out. It's faded. It's old. I don't see a year on it. 4,500 max kW, 4,000 continuous, 3,700 RPMs. It's a Onan flat twin. Looks like a 1986 unit. I know it was ran, and I know it was ran hard. So there's no battery in it right now. What you got is idle, fast, fast, and start. So you come over to start, you pop it there, you put it there, and that's run. And then it idles down to like 2,500, somewhere in there. And then when you strike the arc or you pull the trigger on whatever you're using, it revs up. And the choke moves pretty smooth for as long as it's been sitting. The problem that we've been having with it is the weld goes up and down. You set it and it gets hot or it gets cold. Then you have to come over, crank it up. It gets hot, it gets cold. To come over, set it again, it gets hot, it gets cold. And the other problem that we had was we had trouble with it maintaining a charge on the battery. So that's actually two problems we had. But other than that, it's been a great welder. And the guy that owned it before, my dad bought it, had 300 feet of lead on it, cranked it up at 250 amps, welding 1/8 inch 7018 back in a pipeline, and he had a 50-gallon tank underneath it, and it burned 50 gallons of gasoline in a 24-hour shift. But what we were going to do is see if we can pull it out and see if the brushes were bad or what was going on with that. The problem is the engine isn't charging, or whatever's not charging. So we need to figure out what's wrong with that as far as the charging system for the battery goes. But other than the weld going up and down, going hot and cold, we don't know what to do with it. So I mean, it runs and it welds. It's just a pain in the ass sometimes, because when you're down in a hole and you don't have somebody up top to adjust it, you got to climb out of the hole with the boss screaming at you, and you got to dick with it. So yeah, that's our 220 or 240 line there, and that's another line 120 that we got over to here. So, but other than those two problems, it's a great little machine, and it's got probably 2,500 to 3,000 hours on it, and it burns a quart of oil between a 12-gallon fill-up. So that's another issue, but it's a flat twin. I mean, what do you expect? I've heard of them burning 2 quarts of oil between 8 gallons of fuel, so between a 6-hour shift. So I guess we're doing pretty good.